Hello and welcome back for another episode of Come Wine With Me. Thank you for joining me for Wine Wednesdays, as I like to call it. I'm afraid I've already gotten started without you guys. I'm like drinking already. So if you want to go pour yourself a glass of wine and catch up, I'll wait. So today we're drinking another French wine from the Maison Castel, and it's a Syrah. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. I do not speak French, but if you do speak French, please do leave me a comment below and let me know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, or if you know anything about this producer, this wine producer. I would love to be educated, because we never stop learning, do we? I've only had a couple sips so far, and already I'm feeling the effects on me. It's the kind of wine that kind of comes in waves of pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Like it hits you and then kind of hits you again. It's nice. It's very nice, very smooth. It's also a little dry, which I think goes perfectly with my dry humor. So today we're complaining about people who take the fun out of flirting. Yes, those people exist, and you probably know them. You probably are one of them and you don't even know it. For me personally, I think flirting is subtle. It can be very subtle. Flirting can be subtle, and it could also be extreme. I think the extreme flirting, like the overt flirting, the kind of flirting I used to do when I was like 20 and didn't know what I was doing, like obvious flirting is like not for me. I don't do that anymore. Like I try to keep my flirting subtle. I like to keep you questioning, like, is she flirting? Like what just happened? I kind of see flirting as like an art form, as a skill to be developed, as sport even. As long as the other person is playing the same game that you're playing, as long as the other person is on the same page as you and they understand, and it's not like taking advantage of someone or manipulating someone or playing with their mind or anything. It takes time to develop. Like when I was 20, I was way too obvious. Like I was all, hello, how are you? Like, you are so cute. Oh my God, you're so cute. Like that kind of stuff. Maybe I wasn't that bad. Maybe I was worse. Who's to say I don't remember? I don't remember. But the point is that I feel like I've kind of developed a different type of way of flirting, and I don't want to give away all my secrets because, you know, I don't know, I'm not getting paid for this, but there are people who just take the fun out of flirting. People who don't know how to flirt, the people who are too sensitive to handle flirting, because, you know, it's a game. Like I said, it's a game, it's a sport, it's like it's a mental puzzle or whatever, one of those mental mind game things, you know, like to keep the mind sharp. Helps keep the mind sharp, helps keep you young, is how I feel about the situation. And then there's the people who think that it's cheating. How I feel about the situation is that, you know, a woman is talking to you. A woman is paying attention to you. Be grateful. You're welcome. You know? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I just have to, all right, I have to wrap this up because we have to go play football now. All this to say that you can either take flirting too seriously in that you are sensitive to certain words. You don't like being joked with, you don't like being teased. Teasing and being playful with someone is part of flirting. And if you don't like that, if you don't like being teased, if you don't understand the art of teasing someone or playing with them, or, you know what I'm saying, like ribbing at them or whatever, having a go in a nice way or whatever, like, then, you know, you can't play this game. You can't be in the flirt game, you know? You really can't. And also, you probably don't have a personality, in my opinion. You ruin flirting. You ruin it. You ruin it. You ruin flirting. You take the fun out of flirting. That's you. That's what you're doing. You should feel terrible. You should feel like an awful human being. You should feel like a terrible person. You should just, man, you really need to rethink your priorities. You need to look at yourself. You need to take a cold, hard look at yourself in the mirror and figure out why you would ruin flirting. Also, if you're the guy who thinks that flirting is cheating, look, I'm not gonna judge you, but I'm judging you. You know, I'm not gonna put you down, but I'm totally judging you. I'm not gonna make you feel bad about yourself. To each his own, right? You know, no judgment, I'm judging you. No judgment, I'm judging you. Point is, if you're the guy who thinks that flirting is cheating, then okay. Okay, but also you ruin flirting as well. You know, because I guess on one hand, I can kind of understand, you know, like, flirting does include, not only is flirting kind of like teasing and joking around and being playful with someone, but it does include, you know, light touching. I know a guy is flirting with me, or I know a guy is attracted to me when he like it's like he's talking to me about like something, like a book or whatever, and then he has to touch me on my shoulder. Oh, did you, or touch my knee, like, oh, did you see that movie? Or oh, da 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 da. Oh, I think you would like this book. And I'm touching my knee right now. It doesn't really work when it's just me. But the point is that if a guy makes a point to touch me in some way, have some kind of physical contact, not like my tit, he's not like grabbing my tit or anything, or like trying to make out with me. I'm saying like an innocent, innocuous touch, just right here. I know he's attracted to me. I know he's flirting with me. That's a sign. So I get it. Like if you're married, or if you have a girlfriend or a significant other, it's a fine line. It's like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't flirt because this is not, you know, like for instance, Andrea, he doesn't like to admit that this is flirting, but it totally is. Whenever he hugs his female friends or says hello to them, he puts his hand on the hip, like the waist, like where, right there, that sweet spot, you know, like right there. And he, you know, when I look at it, when I see him do it, it looks, you know, it's like super flirtatious. Like he did it to me. That's how he won me over. I mean, shoot, like you touch me on my hip, it is on. Panties are dropped. Just kidding. It's not that easy. But he really does do that. I had to tell him a couple times, like, look, can you not? You know, like now that you are with me, you need to just put your hand on the shoulder. How you doing? Did a little kiss kiss. That's fine. But the hand on the hip, come on, that's suggestive, you know? He doesn't agree. And we're working on that, and that's fine, you know, whatever. Plus also like his female friends, I actually like them a lot and I trust them, and it's all good. But like when I first kind of like saw all of that happening, it was a lot, you know? So touching is a form of flirting, and it can get kind of hairy for people in relationships. So I get that. For those of you who think that flirting should automatically lead to sex or a hookup, you also kind of ruin flirting a little bit. Like I understand your thought process, because back in my single days, I definitely was flirting to hook up. Yeah, that was my intention, to let you know that you're a sexy man, you're the cat's meow, you're the bee's knees, and I want to be on you. I want to be on you. Like that was my whole point. So I can understand your thought process. However, you should not automatically think that it's guaranteed. And if you do not succeed in getting laid that night, you should not turn the word flirt into a derogatory term, because that takes the fun out of flirting, all right? To be a flirt is not derogatory. It's not a negative thing. Don't try to equate it to that kind of stuff like women just being teases and blah, blah, blah. Flirting does not equal tease. Flirting is not derogatory just because you don't seal the deal, just because you don't make it happen. Maybe your flirt game ain't that strong. I don't see why you wouldn't succeed. Let me stop. I want to tie this all up with a pretty little bow and say I love flirting. I think that it's so fun, and I think that, you know, minus the people who ruin it for everybody else, it's just the best way to pass the time. It just really is. Add flirting with a glass of wine and like good judgment, you know, and like a boundary, and you've got the best day ever, in my opinion. That's all I got for you guys this week. Thanks for joining me for Wine Wednesdays. Come wine with me. Hashtag CWWM. So if you want to talk about this on Twitter, holla at your girl and use that hashtag CWWM. Come wine with me. Join me next week for Wine Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here today. Hello to all my new subscribers. Hello to all my old subscribers. You guys give me life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And leave me a comment. Are you a flirt? Do you like flirting? Are you good at flirting? Do you want to flirt with me? Just kidding. Maybe. Anyway, or do you fall into one of the categories of people who actually ruin flirting? Like, do you take the fun out of flirting? Did you know before this video, that maybe you were a ruiner, a flirt ruiner? Do you feel bad about yourself? Are you gonna change your ways? Too many questions? You're right, my bad. Either way, let me know how you're doing and how you're feeling. Leave me a comment. Don't forget to like and share this video, and if you're not subscribed, tap on that subscribe button, y'all. Tappy tap, tappy tap, tappy tap. And I'll see you next week for more Wine Wednesdays.